All right, good afternoon or evening or morning, whenever you are happening to watch this replay. To my friends on the YouTube, glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Hello, Vic, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. Hello, N. Hello, Clue. Glad to see you all. Thank you for joining on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may happen to be in this warm, wonderful, cold-ass, where I am, world of ours. I am here, and I will be here for the next hour or so talking about pornography addiction. Now, why am I going to be talking about pornography addiction? I'm going to be talking about pornography addiction because I was a porn addict for 24 years. That is 100% right. I was a porn addict for 24 years. I was also an alcoholic for 22 years. I have been clean and sober now for 11 years, and I have been a full-time pornography addiction coach for almost 5 years at this point. I have written 4 books about this stuff. I am here to answer any questions you may have. I am here to answer anything you may need when it comes to pornography addiction. Please go ahead, just put them in the comments. Please go ahead, whether it is pornography addiction, whether it is betrayal trauma, or whether it is about disclosures. I can help deal with the addict. I can help deal with the partner who's going through some trauma and pain. And I can help the relationship as a whole, as I am a disclosure specialist. So all I need you to do is go ahead and tap up some likes, if you don't mind. That gets people into the algorithm, and that's important early on for people to see some likes. I also, you want to get up on the bed? Okay, hold on. I got to put my dog up on the bed. One sec. I am currently fostering a half bulldog, half boxer mix. Yep, sure. That's the puppy. That's the bulldog boxer mix that I am fostering. So, Big Bird says my brain is fried. Well, that is almost what happens when you're an addict. That's almost what happens when you're an addict. You literally hurt the pleasure nerve endings in your head. Those are the receptors that take in the dopamine, take in the oxytocin, the serotonin. These are the things that make you feel good in life. When you exercise, when you're in love, when you do a good job, these are the chemicals that are released in your brain naturally. But with pornography, what happens is that you end up learning how to short circuit your brain. You learn how to load it up with those pleasure chemicals. And unfortunately, what you do is you create a standard upon which your brain needs stimulation to feel anything. So that's why you use more and more and more, and that's why you feel like your brain gets fried. This is a little Chihuahua that I'm also fostering, and I think he's cute too. Please keep tapping up the likes. I love corn. Well, you absolutely can. I'm not here to stop you. I'm here to educate. Do you lose motivation? I don't, because I got through recovery. I got through figuring out why I was a porn addict. I figured out what caused my problems. So I have such a better life on this side of things that no, I don't lose motivation. OHN gang, I don't know what that means. Is this necessary for a child's app? Well, Lauren, number one, I do have this on the nobody under 18 can watch setting. Number two, did you know that the top 5-year age group of people who view porn online is 12 to 17? This is a problem with children. We give every kid an iPhone or a Galaxy and send them on their way. Meanwhile, they've got the greatest porn computer ever in their hands. And if you want to stick your head in the sand and ignore that it's out there, that's fine. You go right ahead. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to educate, including the parents out there who want to pretend this isn't real. I don't know if you have kids, Lauren, but how do you porn-proof them? Because here's the thing, you can't. It's not a matter of if they're ever going to see it. It's a matter of when they're going to see it. And how are they going to react to it? You can put all the filters on their phones you want, all the filters on their tablets and laptops you want, but what happens when they're in the real world and somebody else shows them this stuff? Do you know what they're going to say? Do you know what they're going to do? If you don't, you're not getting the job done as a parent. I'm sorry if you find pornography icky, but this is a real problem we have to deal with in this world. And if we dealt with more of our icky problems sooner, maybe we wouldn't be where we are. It's much better to not ignore the problems. Thank you for those of you clicking up the likes. I hope more of you will. That helps us early in one of these to get this out. What is the age you think you should allow to have advice? I think that you raise your kids in a manner that is age appropriate. At 5 or 6 years old, you can tell them you don't ever let anybody take a picture of you without your clothes on, and you don't take a picture of anybody without their clothes on. At 7 years old, maybe you say there are kids at school who may have some pictures on their phone or on their tablets of naked people. Kids aren't supposed to see this stuff, so let a teacher know. I'm not skipping your question, HVM. I'm guessing that you're putting a word in it that TikTok won't allow to come through because I haven't seen it. So if you can look at your question and figure out if there's a word that you need to change or something, try that, because I'm honestly not avoiding you at all. I think that, once a kid is 8, 9 years old, you can tell them what there is out in the world. But this is more like the don't smoke speech. This is more like the don't drink speech. You don't have to talk about the birds and the bees. You don't have to talk about the explicit content in pornography. You just let them know it's not good for you. Hey, John, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Is there scientific evidence for that? Dude, there is a ton of scientific evidence that pornography is a disease. Because addiction is a disease. Pornography addiction is a disease. And if you don't want to believe that, that's fine. You don't have to look it up. You don't need to know the facts. But if this becomes a problem, you can't say that you were never warned. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of porn addicts around the world. I was one of them. I was a porn addict for 24 years. I was an alcoholic for 22 years. I have been clean and sober now for 11 years and relapse-free. I know what this stuff can do. About 8 years ago, I got into this business first as an author and as a speaker. I wrote 4 books. I'd go to colleges, churches, libraries, give speeches. Then the pandemic hit, and I became certified as a full-time pornography coach, a full-time betrayal trauma coach, and a full-time disclosure specialist. Because I wanted to help people who were in similar situations that I was. So, yeah, I know the science very well. And I know the experience of being an addict very well. Uh, People get exposed to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why we need to have some education around that. Thank you for helping me quit. I've stopped doing it the longest I ever have. Good for you, Nathan. Good for you. That's awesome. Man, I just joined this live. Man talking about corn. Are you narrating? Have you played Jack Matt ranked yet? I don't know what that means. Thanks, you helped me stop. Well, I'm glad that I could help you stop. And keep in mind, I just said something that clicked. You're the real warrior here. You had to make yourself stop. And if I can help any of you stop with ideas, with one-on-one coaching, if you're a partner who doesn't know how to talk to their addict husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, I can help you do that. If you're interested in any one-on-one sessions, visit the front page of my profile in the links. Click on Linktree, and it'll be the first option. Cheeseburger, thank you for following me. 2 hours clean. Well, that's a start, Jay Will. Chandaman, 98. Got any tips? Seem to be falling off after 10 or so days. What is it that happens on day 7, 8, or 9 that leads to the relapse? How is it you get through a week? What do you do on those days to get through it? What happens on day 8, 9, and 10? Sheen, you clearly don't have any scientific knowledge of this stuff. You clearly want to keep using it, and you don't want to believe that there's anything bad about it. That's fine. Just please don't clog this with unscientific bullshit opinions that you've pulled out of your ass, because I'll just mute you and block you. Alrighty. So yeah, Chandaman, what's happening on day 7, 8, and 9? What's different? Do you just tell yourself the story, I can't get to 10 days? Can you look at it at one day at a time? Day 3 is just your third day 1. Day 6 is just your third day 1. Day 10, it's just your 10th day 1. You don't have to worry about any other day except today. And if today is too rough, then you think about it in terms of, can I be sober until lunch? Can I be sober until dinner? If that's too much, think about it hour to hour. What am I doing for the next hour to stay away from porn? And if that's too much, what am I doing right now to stay away from porn? It doesn't matter how you stayed off porn yesterday. That's in the past. It doesn't matter how you'll stay off porn tomorrow. You'll get to tomorrow. All you can control is right here, right now. It's a lot easier when you think of it in those terms. Why is corn bad? Keep listening. You'll keep hearing. Okay. Boom. And boom. I guess Shine didn't, shit. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. I made a mistake. Okay. Sorry. I blocked a word like that, which would have really screwed things up. I'm sorry that you had a relapse, John. Do you know why you had a relapse? Do you know what happened? Can you look back and say, here are the red flags? Can you make this a learning experience? Because we can't stop the fact the relapse happened, but we can stop it from ever happening this way again. What were the signs? What were the red flags? What were you ignoring? What were you justifying? What were you minimizing? How did you get there? Edwin says, I can't goon. I don't know that that's a bad thing. Kanye is going to HE double hockey sticks. Thank you for following me. And thank you for those who keep tapping up the likes. But why is corn bad? It can lead to addiction, which is basically brain trauma, which is basically a disease. You can end up with sexual dysfunction. You can end up with ideas about sexuality that are very twisted. It certainly shouldn't be the sex ed for the youngest kids out there that it is. We know that it leads to many more breakups and divorces. Plenty of things there. Plenty of things why it's not good. Chandaman98, thank you for following me. Is only JO, I only JO once a month, so I don't have a problem. Okay, if you say you don't have a problem, that's cool. And I'll tell you, I don't have any clients who only do it once a month. So, yeah, you probably don't have a problem. You probably don't. Show dog, we don't care about corn sales. There you go. I'm addicted to Indian porn. Okay. We all have our things, but the big thing is you're addicted. Addiction is the problem here. I know a lot of people want to be, well, the porn, it's against God. It's not moral. Those are all just opinions. Those are just all subjective feelings. Pornography addiction is much like gambling addiction, is much like food addiction, is much like video game addiction. You have a delivery source, in this case porn, that helps create the chemical reaction in your head that makes you feel better. But porn addicts aren't addicted to body parts more than anybody else. Porn addicts aren't addicted to watching sex more than anybody else. Porn addicts are addicted to those chemicals and how they make them feel in the head. That's what they're really addicted to. Anything can be corn if you think hard enough. Well, I guess this is potential. This is Puritan values coded. If you want to think that, Kanye, that's fine. That's what they also said about people who tried to talk about alcohol addiction back in the day. That's what they said about people with cigarette addiction. If you don't want to believe this stuff, that's fine. You don't have to. Step 1, workout. Step 2, wife. Step 3, that's it, you're done. Well, Kentucky Bat, I can see why Kentucky is not in the top 10 of educational powerhouses in this country. What if you know what gets you to relapse? How can figuring out help? Well, if you know what causes you to relapse, you can make a different plan. For instance, if you use, because you're in bed too long in the morning, and you're scrolling through social media, and it gets you going, well, it's not the social media that caused it. It's not the porn that caused it. It's the you deciding to stay in bed and indulge that causes it. So what do? You get out of bed. You change your behaviors. You change your routines. Thank you, Matt. I think it's a cute dog too. What you need to do is be able to say, okay, this behavior causes me to relapse, and change it. It's the same thing with people who are just starting to try to end their pornography addiction. You've got to learn how you use, why you use. When do you use? Where do you use? What has been going on in the last 10, 15 minutes before you use? Most people who use, there are patterns all over the place, even if they don't realize it. But if you write down every time you get a trigger, if you write down every time you get an urge, perhaps you'll see some patterns and be able to address them. Again, thank you, Matt. I think it's a cute dog too. Thank you for following me, Mutt. Thank you for following me, Fed. Or Fetty. Most people would drop it if their lives got better. Well, that's true. And what I'm saying is you can make your life get better. It's your choice. It's your choice to use corn. It's your choice to stop. It's your choice how you want to live your life. If you did, I can tell you, if you did drop it, 100% your life would get better. Mine certainly did. Process addictions. Absolutely, Tina. Absolutely. 100%. Why would you say corn causes divorce? It could be 100 other reasons. Yes, but I can tell you based on statistics provided by the law industry that of people who do end up divorced, that pornography is mentioned in more than half of the divorce cases now. I can also tell you that partners who bring porn into the relationship are more than twice as likely to get divorced than a couple that doesn't, or break up than a couple that doesn't. Now, is it have to do just with the porn? Of course not. But you can't ignore that big of a difference. Kanye West posts corn on X and I saw and wasn't trying to see it. What should I do? Stop following Kanye. It's 2025. He hasn't done anything artistically genius in years. Are you following him because he's a train wreck? There are plenty of other train wrecks out there. You don't need to follow Kanye West, especially if he's posting porn on his page. There's no reason to follow Kanye West at all. Hold on, just had to get rid of somebody. I'm sorry you can't goon. I'm sorry you can't goon. Is that dandruff on you? I don't know. Maybe it's just crap from all the cleaning I was doing before this. Causation is not association. What does that mean to you, Joe Bro? What does that mean to you? Anyway, let me get rid of my puppy. Yeah, let's skip the actual question in your stream. What question do you have? Coach, I've asked 100 different ways. Can you spell a word backward? I mean, if you're using the word porn, it won't let you get through. Unfortunately, that's why we have to say corn. Now, let me be serious. I do have a hard time because I'm depressed and can't find a girl. Okay, what are you doing to change that? What are you doing to change that? Because I got to tell you, masturbating to images of women who wouldn't give you the time of day is not going to help your mental state. Masturbating to images of people you will never meet is not going to help you find a girl. If you're using porn because you're depressed, it's only going to make you more depressed. That's what the attack of chemicals on your mind is going to do. Go look in Google at people who have the brain of a porn addict. It looks very different than a healthy brain. You can't actually be addicted to corn, said Edwin. It's a coping mechanism due to other problems. What do you think addictions are? You don't think they are coping mechanisms? Of course they are. And I hope you never find out the truth, Edwin. I hope you never find out the truth. Check DM, please. I'm not using that word. I can't check DMs when I'm doing this, so I will check it when I'm done, and I will answer you like that. Very dry skin, it looks like. It probably is. It's about 5 degrees outside, and I was shoveling earlier. So, yeah, I'm sure I can tell it is dry. If it's bothering you too much, you can always just move on. Can you overdose? Not the way that you can overdose on substances. Not the way you overdose on substances. I'm trying, but I keep getting rejected. Well, here's the thing. You only have to get one relationship right in your life. One. How does a successful relationship end? One of you dies of old age. One of you dies of old age. H, thank you for sharing this. I appreciate it. Hey, puppy. I'm doing fine. It's nice to see you here. Welcome back. TikTok won't let me type the full thing, but it's due to bigger problems to watch out for than corn. Well, ultimately, it has to do... Jesus, who cares? Okay, here you go. There you go. There you go. If this is bothering you, you can leave. Well, I mean, yes, pornography addiction, just like every other addiction, is the symptom of a bigger problem. Why are some people porn addicts and some not? Why are some people drug addicts, some not? Why are some people cigarette addicts, alcohol addicts, food addicts, gambling addicts, whatever, and other people aren't? It's because ultimately you have trauma. With pornography, usually that trauma comes early in life. And it comes somewhat around the time that you are introduced to porn. You don't have the natural problem-solving skills at that point to deal with whatever the trauma is. You don't have those problem-solving skills. But you find that using pornography helps you. It makes you feel good. So you start to associate images of naked people and or masturbation with feeling better. And chemically, it is making you feel better. But the reason you don't have those proper problem-solving skills is because you didn't develop them. And now that you're an addict, you won't develop them. So, what can you do? Well, you just keep using the porn. Problem comes up, use porn. Anxiety, use porn. Stress, use porn. Until the porn starts causing all those things. Until you recognize you can't go a few days without using porn. Because you become chemically dependent on it. So yes, porn is not the main problem. Porn is a symptom of the main problem. Best way to stop is the way that there. Bye, Ricky. Or whatever the fuck your name was, Mickey. We don't have to listen to you now. Best way to stop is the way that works for you. And keep in mind, stopping is not recovery. Stopping is the first step of recovery. You have to get deeper and recognize why you started using in the first place. People can smoke even if they don't have problems due to what's in the cigarettes. Not the same for corn. What do you mean by that, Edwin? I don't completely understand what the analogy is you're making. Best way to stop, I'm really struggling. Okay, well, here's the thing. First step, why must you stop? Why must you stop? What is it that porn is going to take away from you as a person? What is it that porn is going to do to change your life? How are you going to move forward if you don't stop this? What might you lose? That's what you have to ask yourself. You have to get your motivation in place first. Why must you quit? Not why is it a good idea to quit or why should you quit? Why must you quit? What does corn stand to take away that you may not get back if you quit too late or if you never quit? Maybe you'll lose your partner. Maybe you'll never get a partner. Maybe you're worried about your health. mental or physical. Maybe you're turning into a person you don't recognize. Maybe you're using it at work. I don't know. You have to figure it out for yourself what your motivation is, because it's your motivation. It's not going to be mine. It's not going to be the next guy or gal's. People can smoke. Okay. That's you need to find something else to do. It's that simple. Well, it's not that simple, Muhammad. If you actually have the addiction of pornography, it has changed the chemistry of your brain. Odds are you have some trauma behind it. If you're not an addict, yeah, go find something else to do. But for addicts, it's not that simple. It really isn't. Talk about corn in... I have no idea what that emoji is. Is that a pie? What is that? Soup? I can't tell what it is. My husband had it. Not fun at all. Absolutely. And you read some of these people who... A lot of these people want to continue to use porn and don't want to believe that anything bad can happen to them. Whatever. You know, cigarettes are made to create addicts. No, cigarettes are made to make money. Corn, on the other hand, is made for people with problems. No, corn is made to make money. Addictions exist for others to make money. Why do you think there's so much risk? Or why do you think so many people take the risk of smuggling illegal drugs into this country? Because there's a crap load of money on the other side of it. People who make porn want money. That's ultimately the issue. People who make porn want to make money. And they're making more than they ever have. Because more people are making their own porn than they ever have. It's become a DIY industry. Corn can't get you addicted. It's all about mental state. Edwin, I don't think you really know the... I don't think you really understand the full science behind this. But that's okay. All I do is goon. Well, you must be real popular with your friends. But thank you for following me anyway, Country Roads. You don't have to goon. It's a choice you make. Go do something else. Go be around people. Find something else you like to do. And you also need to figure, why are you gooning all the time? What is that achieving for you? Watching this stream like a podcast helps me stop corn. I'm glad to hear that, No Name. The other thing, you can always do is if you go to the front page of my profile, where I tell people to click that link tree if they want to schedule an appointment with me, you can click that link tree and you can get my YouTube page. And my YouTube page has like 23, 24 of these older lives that are posted. So if I'm not doing one of these on a day, if I am not around when you need to hear one, you can just go listen to my YouTube page and these lives are there if they help you. Is recovery more of a self-will than it is understanding the science of why you got addicted first? I think it really depends on who you are and what your motivation is. I'm a science and math guy because science and math is not super debatable. Math is math. 1 + 1 is 2. It always will be. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what country you're from. Science is the best set of facts and ideas we have in the moment that explains our natural world. I like that. I'm not an old historical text guy. I have a spiritual side, but I don't need that for my recovery. Some people do. Ultimately, it's going to be self-will no matter what road you go down, because you're the one that has to do the work. When I talk to people about why is it that you got addicted, yeah, that's an important thing to understand, but you can quit the behavior at the same time. Figuring out why you got addicted is the most important part of this. That is going to the root of the issue. But you can and you should quit the behavior along the way. But it is self-will. I tell my clients also, I'm just your guide. I will do 5 to 10% of the work. You have to do 90 to 95% of the work. And that's true no matter what coach or therapist or doctor or rehab or psychiatrist or psychologist or shaman or whoever you go to for help. You're going to have to do most of it. I lost my 1-month streak. I'm sorry to hear that. But do you know why? Do you know what happened? So you can avoid that in a month. We can't stop the fact it happened. So now you have to go back and do what I like to call the prelapse autopsy. When did you know it was going to happen? How did you keep giving into it? Because you don't just end up pants around your ankles, business in your hand on a porn site. It takes a lot of decisions to get there. What were the earliest things? Did you have something happen that was negative? Did you just start getting voices? Were you wondering if you were clean and so you better just take a peek to find out? You have to figure out, why did you relapse? It's a pie for PIED. That makes sense. Thank you, Tyane. That makes sense. 3 days clean, doing my best. Kick ass, Preston. That's awesome. Keep in mind, everybody who has given up porn forever once had 3 days clean. Just worry about day 3. And tomorrow, just worry about day 4. You'll get there. You'll get there eventually. I was here yesterday. Yes, I remember your name, Dylan. One thing I can say for everyone is exercise is the best therapy. It is for a lot of people because when you exercise, you create endorphins in your brain. When you exercise, you create a ton of serotonin in your brain. These are two of the main chemicals that people are searching for when they use pornography. So you're getting it naturally, without the porn, in the amounts you're supposed to, in the way you're supposed to. So absolutely, it will help you, unless you absolutely hate exercising. Good job, Preston. I like that support. I'm roughly 33 minutes clean. Things are looking up from here. Well, I wish you the best, Country Roads. I really do. I think you can do it if you want to. Where are we? Perfect words. Thank you, Muhammad. Dalu is not nice. Corn is addictive, and I've been addicted to it before, so it's not that easy to get away from. And that's exactly the truth. That's exactly the truth. Like I always tell people who tell, porn addiction's not real. Are you an addict? No, it's just not real. Okay, what can you quote me some kind of statistics or why it's not real? No, I just know it's not real. Okay, well, I hope you never learn the truth. I hope you are able to live in your ignorance blissfully from here on out. It'll be better if you don't find out the truth. It's hard to make friends. It can be. But recognize people who don't want to be friends with you, that's their problem, not yours. Go places where people have common interests as you. Find Discord boards. Find other places online. You're really good. Thank you, Muhammad. Past dat dank main 6 followed me. Thank you, sir. Corn is addictive, and I've been addicted to it before, so it's not that easy. Just read that. Country Roads, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Very nice. How do you feel about Nautica Malone? I have no idea who that is, if that is a person. Laying on my bed on my phone then just felt like it. Okay, well, that's fine. But if you're laying on your kitchen floor, what if you feel like having bleach? That's the thing. People, and you need to recognize this. You are in control of your choices. You can't blame the fact it's everywhere. You can't blame the fact it's on your phone. your phone, your boredom, your tiredness did not make you use porn any more than it makes you drink bleach. And think about that. Bleach is in every one of our homes, under our sink, in the laundry room. You can get bleach at the drugstore, at the hardware store, at the grocery store. Bleach is everywhere. But we don't drink it. Why? Because it's bad for us. How do we know? We were taught when we were young. If you're laying in your bed and you just want to use porn, that's fine. But understand there may be repercussions down the road to your behavior. And unfortunately, if you sit in bed and masturbate to porn all day today, you don't ever get this day back again. And you only have so many days on this earth. You know, I'll never be in my 20s again. I'll never be in my 30s again. Whatever I did, good, bad, or indifferent during those times, it's in the past. I can control myself today and moving forward. Hi, Kat. Thank you for following me. That's what we actually call my daughter. Is there a certain amount of porn or self-pleasure you would say is healthy? No. There is nothing healthy about it. I have probably read over 500 studies, surveys, reports at this point. I've probably read close to 50 books on this. You have to do a ton of research if you're going to write books yourself, and I've written 4. There is no study, no book, anything I have ever read that says any of it is healthy. The most you can hope for is that it is not unhealthy because you don't use it very often. You use it once a month, twice a month. It's not going to be unhealthy for you, but you use it once or twice a month. It's not that it is healthy. It's not that it is healthy for you. It's a lot like going into a casino. There are plenty of people who are gambling addicts there. It's not healthy for them. But I can go in because I'm not a gambling addict. But it's not healthy that I go in. At best, it's neither. So no, there is no amount of corn that's actually healthy for you. It will not improve your health at all. How long does it take for addiction to break? Ultimately, it depends on the person, mister. It depends on the person. Do you take the idea of not using and not looking seriously? Are you doing other healthy activities instead? Are you working on the trauma piece to figure out why you ended up using so much? You have to do multiple things, and the longer you wait, the longer you delay, the less you adhere to the things you need to do, the longer it takes to get better. Do you think I should go to therapy? I want to get help. Well, KKM, have a session with me. I can talk to you for 1/2 to 1/3 of what a therapist will cost, and you can literally see me tonight if you want, or tomorrow. You're not going to get that with a therapist. And we can talk for an hour about what you should do. All you have to do is go to the front page of my profile, click on the link that says Linktree, and then click on the top link. Hey, Coach Shannon, glad you're here. Good to see you. And you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. For us addicts, no amount is healthy. Hi there, Ali. Hi there, Hunter. H says, new haircut. Yes, new haircut, and I shaved. That was for my birthday the other day. It was my gift to my wife for my birthday. How do I get better with consistency, asks Hunter Robinson. I struggle going more than a few days without it. Well, then don't worry about a few days. Worry about today. You just have to worry about today. Can you get through today? And if you're like, oh my God, today doesn't end for another 10 hours. Okay. Well, can you get through 2 hours? Can you get through 1 hour? Can you get through right now? It doesn't matter how much porn you used in the past, and it doesn't matter what's going to happen tomorrow. You have this one moment in time. you don't have to use right now. Now, obviously, there are times that are more difficult to not use. Obviously, if you have more trauma, that's going to be fueling the fire. But what you have to be able to do is to not tell yourself a story that you're going to fail after a few days, and to get it to a manageable place. In like 2 or 3 weeks, I think I'm going to be at 4,000 days sober. It's impressive, but it's 4,000 day ones. It doesn't matter what happened on day 768 or day 2,412. Will I get to 5,000 days in a couple years? I sure hope so. But I'm not worried about day 5,000. If today is day 3,986, this is the day I have to worry about. Because I'm not going to get to day 3,987 if I don't worry about day 3,986. I worry about today. And I'll worry about tomorrow when it becomes today. And as I said, you can always schedule something with me, even if we only talk one time. Let's talk about your use. Let's talk about how do we reduce it. I've got all kinds of different tips and techniques to help you. But that's also why we have a little bit of an interview and I ask you questions to figure out why are you using and what are the best steps to get you to stop the behavior. And once you slow down the behavior, once you stop the behavior, we can get into the deeper stuff of why you became a porn addict in the first place. Because that's the more important question. I've only got 10%, so I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes, unfortunately, because I don't know where my charger is. But schedule something with me and we can talk about this. What does your use look like? How has it changed over time? When did it start? When do you say no easily? When can't you say no? There are all kinds of things to examine even in one session. Many people I see them once. We kind of get them lined up and they go off on their own, which is fine. Some people I've been seeing for years and we don't talk about porn anymore. It's just check-ins overall about life. I had one of my favorite clients today. We talked about communication with his wife. I don't think the word porn came up once today. So, 10 minutes clean. Well, that's good. Hey, Smoothie Buns, good to see you. Amin, good to see you. Is there a certain number of days going without it you would say someone has beat their addiction? No. I think it's up to you to figure it out. Some people never want to say that they beat their addiction. They think that's wrong. You go to most 12-step groups will tell you never say you're recovered. You're recovering. It's an active process for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's an opinion. I also think I haven't used in 11 years. I haven't relapsed in 11 years. Can't I say that I am recovered? Can't I say I've beat the addiction? A lot of it is semantics. Technically, if you go 500 days, what if I say you beat it and then the next day you go back to it? Well, I guess you didn't. So there is no certain number we can look at and say, aha. What we can look at, and these numbers actually come from alcoholism, is that if you make it 6 months, your chance of relapsing drops 50%. If you make it a year, your chance drops another 50%. So at the end of 1 year, you have a 25% chance of relapsing that you did on day one. And it goes down by 25% every year after that. Is all the corn damage reversible? Well, it really depends. I mean, if you end up getting divorced, if you end up, hurting people's feelings, making them feel bad, maybe it's not. The damage inside of you, yeah, absolutely, it's reversible if you stick to the plan. The neuroplasticity will get you back physically to where you need to be. But if you don't address the most important question, how did I get here? How did I become a porn addict in the first place? That's far more important a question than how do I quit? Because that is part of the biggest answer in how you quit is why did you start? So you need to go down that road. But yes, physically it's all reversible. Mentally that can take longer. I mean, unresolved trauma becomes resolved. I can't change the shit that happened to me when I was a kid just because I'm in recovery. I have coped with it. I have dealt with it. I have processed it. It doesn't hang over me like a black cloud anymore, but it still happened. Hunter, thank you for following me. Brandon, thank you for following me. How much is it? First session is $45. And if you want to learn more, just go to the front page of the profile, click on the link that says Linktree. The first option is how to book with me. There's also all of my social media, including my YouTube page and my website and my Amazon page where you can buy my books. John says, I just hit 10 years sober from opioids, so I guess I got that. Hell yeah! 10 years? 10 years off of opioids? That's freaking awesome, my friend. Think about to those worst days before you quit. Bet you never thought you'd be here. I bet if we went back 10 years and 6 months and said, John, in 10 years and 6 months, you will be 10 years free of opioids. I bet you'd look at me like I was crazy. You can do this when you want to. When you figure out the way that's best for you to do it. What is considered addictive? Well, addictive is considered any behavior that you engage in, whether it's using a substance or, a behavior like gambling or porn use or overeating, that despite understanding there will be very negative consequences, you don't feel like you're able to stop. That's pretty much what addictive means. Now, if you're wondering what is a porn addict, how do you define porn addict? Well, you just have to have a certain amount of the symptoms of porn addiction. And if you're wondering what the symptoms of porn addiction are, go to my front page up where there are those 3 pinned videos. One of them is called The 11 Symptoms of Porn Addiction. You can watch that and count along for yourself. Just truth to the truth of what you are, you do to me like this, and you have been so successful, and you just truth to the truth of what you are, you do to me like this. I think that's a compliment, so I'll say thank you. There is no such thing as a recovered addict. You're always recovering. And that is one attitude towards it. And I understand that attitude. I absolutely do. Because you know this is inside of you. You know that this is possible. But I would also say, what if you broke your foot and you heal? Are you then recovered? Why can you recover from a physical injury but not a mental injury? It's semantics, whether you are recovered or recovering, as long as you're not actively using, I think call it whatever you want. So far I'm 5 days clean. Good for you, Bronson. That's not easy. That's not easy. You're focusing on a week coming up. Good for you. I can't stop, bro. Well, keep paying attention here, Case Smith, and we will talk about more, or book a session with me. Watch my videos, hang out here. Sadeki, thank you for following me. Tularula Turalura Yay. Okay, so you've changed your name again. New pick time. So you've changed your picture in the last 3 minutes, and you've changed your name. Study your ass off, John. Good to see you. You're going to be okay, I promise. So are we taking our screen name from all Dexy's Midnight Runner songs at this point? Sadeki says, I'm currently a month without beer. Good for you. It's not much, but everyone starts somewhere. You know what? Everybody out there who hasn't drank in a year or 10 years or 20 years, all of them were at 1 month one day. And that's where you are today. In a month from now, you'll be at 2 months. In a year from now, you'll be at 13 months. Good on you, Sadeki. Good on you. A month without... Hey, you know what? I was an alcoholic for 22 years. Yes, I was a porn addict for 24 years. I was also an alcoholic for 22 years. I know how strong that can be. In many ways, it can be stronger than porn at certain times. You can't watch porn with dinner. You can't have a beer. That's impressive, Sadeki. Keep going. Keep going. You can do it. Blunt Black Stallion, thank you for sharing the live. New pick time. Yeah, I like that. It's my manic anthem. Dexy's Midnight Runner, that lead singer is an interesting dude. If you go and find a Where Are They Now, read the article about what's happened to him. There's a reason they don't have reunion concerts. And did you know Dexy's Midnight Runners actually is a reference to drugs? Handy tip, keep the phone out of the bathroom. Great idea, Andy. It goes back to the simple mathematical equation of if you can't access porn, you can't access porn. Physical happens by nature, mental happens by action and discipline. Well said, Arson. Well said. And if you don't know how to do either of those things, you need to ask for help. After 24 years of being an addict, I finally said, I don't have the answer. I can't just keep denying the science. I can't just keep denying the way things are because I have an ego or I think I'm super cool. Absolutely. You need the help of others. I have never seen, whether I was in recovery or whether I was with therapists, whether I've been doing my coaching for the last 5 years. I've never seen anybody heal without the help of someone else. Never. Not once. Guys, book a session. It helped me amazingly. Thank you, John. Tulaluralurale, who I also like to call Ellie, she agrees with John because they've both worked with me one-on-one. And I think they're both in better places for the most part than when they started working with me. It helps. I certainly had to ask for help, but not for corn. Did my time in rehab. Yep, I did 10 weeks in alcohol rehab and 7 weeks in porn rehab. So I absolutely have been there myself, Arson. And it can teach you a lot, but then, you got to go home and deal with that place again, which isn't easy. I like your shirt. Thank you. My wife got this for me when she went on a cruise last October. I wouldn't go on the cruise. I don't like cruises. There's something about floating jail I'm just not a big fan of. Anyway, I am down to like 3% right now, so I don't want to just disappear on you and have you all get scared that I got banned. I'm going to stop for now. I'm going to go do some work I need to do, and maybe I'll do another one later tonight. You never know. If you're not following me, please do. That way You will be alerted when I am doing this stuff. And I want to thank you very much for being here. Again, if anybody needs any one-on-one help, I can see you for less than half of what it costs for a traditional therapist. You can also schedule with me, like I said, as soon as later tonight or as soon as tomorrow morning. So you can start working on this immediately. If I can help you, visit the front page of the profile and click on the link tree. And I want to thank you all very much for being here. As I often say, this does have to do with my recovery as well. This helps me. And being able to talk to everybody here helps me. And, having this community here helps me. So I want to thank you very much. And maybe we'll talk later. If not, we'll definitely talk tomorrow. You guys have a